Hey, how's it going everybody? Expert Destroyer here. So today I wanted to talk to you about my thoughts on the Juggernaut Killstreak and the fact that I just really don't think it's worth it. So I have a few reasons why I think that this Killstreak just isn't worth it. So I'm going to break each one of those reasons down right here. So my first big issue with the Juggernaut is the health of the Juggernaut. When you're in the Juggernaut suit, you do not regenerate health, no matter what. You just go until eventually you die. Now I could understand the Juggernaut suit breaking after a lot of use, and I could understand you being killed out of the Juggernaut suit if you let yourself get to that point. But the problem is you can't even get out of the Juggernaut suit once you've gotten into it. There's no way to exit the Juggernaut suit. So if you start to take a lot of damage, you know that the Juggernaut suit is almost broken. You have no choice but to just keep going until eventually somebody kills you. Now you might be thinking, well, you have a minigun, why don't you just continue to mow people down? You know, that minigun is just going to shred people apart. Well, the problem is when you're shooting the minigun, you barely move forward whatsoever. It's a snail pace at that point. And the minigun is hard to control and it's not super accurate, so continuously shooting it just does not make sense. And then when you get up on top of somebody will come around a corner, it takes a second for that minigun to spool up, and in the meantime they're unloading half of a magazine into you before you can actually shoot them. And to go with that issue of people coming around the corner and just immediately annihilating you, the Juggernaut constantly appears on the minimap for the enemy team, so they can always see where you're at all times and can get the drop on you before you can even do anything. Now, if we had a traditional minimap where everybody was appearing on there as they're shooting, might not be as big of an issue, but the problem is with the current minimap, but the way it is, you don't see anything on that mini-map except the objectives and friendly players. So if somebody has a Juggernaut, all of a sudden their logo is appearing on the map, it stands out like a sore thumb. You immediately recognize that that's a Juggernaut on the enemy team, and you know exactly where they're at. So when you put together the idea that the enemy team can see you on the radar at all times and know exactly where you're at, and you mix that with the fact that the Juggernaut's sprint speed is just super slow, which makes sense, it's a heavy suit, but still, the Juggernaut is extremely slow. Getting around the map is very difficult with the Juggernaut, so you're not going to be able to get the drop on people with this thing. Alright, where are you at? So I've actually let friends try the Juggernaut after I've gotten it because I wanted to hear their opinions on it as well. And the consensus across the board is just that it's just not worth it. I've let people get the Juggernaut suit from me, and they've had the Juggernaut suit for 20-30 seconds and gotten killed. And then when you think about the fact that that suit took 15 kills in order to get, and somebody can just immediately blow you up and take you out of it, I mean, it's just really not worth it. Definitely, just so you know, it won't overheat.
Oh, he's dead.
Damn.
I don't like it.
So to see if it was truly worth it or not, I went into my combat record, and I seen that I've called in 12 gunships to this point, and I've gotten 108 kills with the gunship over the course of 12 uses. But when I come down to the Juggernaut, you see, I've called in 17 Juggernauts, but I've only gotten 40 kills with the Juggernaut. That's quite the difference. And when you think about the fact that the gunship only takes 12 kills compared to the Juggernaut's 15 kills, and the idea that once you're done with the gunship, you can just get back up and have back at it again and continue on with your kill streak towards potentially a nuke, perhaps. But with the Juggernaut, like, you are at 15 kills, you're already potentially halfway there towards getting a nuke, but now you're going to throw that all away to put on that Juggernaut suit because the Juggernaut doesn't count towards your kill streak towards a nuke. But you have no way of getting back out of that suit to continue on. So your streak is done at that point. You're going to get a few kills with it, and then you're going to die. So it's just honestly not worth it at all. if I had to make a recommendation, I would say go with the gunship. Yeah, you're left vulnerable for a few seconds when you get in the gunship, but you can just rain down fire on people, rack up a bunch of kills, and then get back up and get back in the fight again. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it, if you guys think the same thing as me. Of course, this is just my opinion and my experience after calling in several of them. But once again, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching today. I'm glad to have you guys here. Hope you guys have a good day.